6 dead as New York City sightseeing helicopter breaks apart midair and crashes into the Hudson River. May sound self-explanatory, but what is a sightseeing helicopter? Okay, a helicopter sightseeing flights are special flights that allow you to enjoy breathtaking views from the air. Unlike airplanes, helicopters can take off and land vertically, giving them a very different flying experience. Okay. All right. Now, the pilot was killed, and a family of 5 Spanish tourists in the latest U.S. aviation disaster, officials said. The victims included Siemens executive. I need to see how to pronounce that. Let's see.
Siemens.
Siemens? And what is Siemens? All right. So what exactly? Siemens AG is a German multinational technology conglomerate. It is focused on industrial automation, distributed energy resources, rail transport, and health technology. Well, just some BS, right? The world's largest provider of industrial automation, Siemens empowers manufacturers to deploy the latest technologies, driving efficiency and sustainability. Okay, so Siemens executive Augustin Escobar, his wife Merce Camprubi Montal, a global manager at an energy technology company, and 3 children, all RIP. All right, RIP. So you have Augustin and his wife, 3 children, and the pilot, all RIP. Okay. A person briefed on the investigation told the Associated Press the person could not discuss details of the investigation publicly and spoke anonymously. Okay. The flight departed a downtown heliport about 3 p.m. and lasted less than 18 minutes. Radar data showed it flew north along the Manhattan skyline and then back south toward the Statue of Liberty. Video of the crash showed parts of the aircraft tumbling through the air into the water near the shoreline of Jersey City, New Jersey. And I have a couple of videos we can play.
This video shows the moment that a helicopter crashed.
All right, so let's look at this video and see if this looks like real video, okay?
This video shows the moment that a helicopter crashed.
It appeared to look like real video there. Let's see. You never know with these things, right? In this day and age.
This video shows the moment that a helicopter crashed into the Hudson River with 6 people on board. Officials.
That looked real.
This video shows the moment that a helicopter crashed into the Hudson River with 6 people on board.
Still,
Officials tell us that all 6 people.
Ooh, and it's interesting that the video is 1:19 seconds. We'll get into that.
Shows the moment that a helicopter crashed into the Hudson River with 6 people on board. Officials tell us that all 6 people have died. We've learned that they were a family of tourists coming from Spain. Among those 6 people were 2 adults, a pilot, also an adult, and then the rest were children. And we're told by officials that they actually were trying to perform life-saving efforts on a boat in the water after they were pulled from the water on 4 people and had no success. 2 other people went to the hospital and were declared dead at the hospital. Now, what we've learned about this helicopter is that it actually took off from the lower part of Manhattan at a heliport. Like I said, it was a tourist helicopter that then went around to the Statue of Liberty, which is where I'm pointing about right now, and came north.
So they were around the Statue of Liberty,
Along the Hudson River. And then it actually moved all the way to the George Washington Bridge before circling.
Okay. So let's go over to the calculator here. Let's put Statue of Liberty in here. Statue of Liberty. All right. That 90 is interesting. We'll check that out here as we go forward. Did she say the George Washington State Bridge?
North along the Hudson River. And then it actually moved all the way to the George Washington Bridge before
George Washington Bridge. Okay, and we're gonna see if any of this connects as we go. George Washington Bridge. Okay, that 11 is interesting. Just some of these things that connect to New York. Okay, New York is the 11th state, and we'll have more on that here upcoming. So let's finish watching this video clip and then we get into the breakdown.
Circling and coming back down the Hudson River. Of course, this is a very popular path that tourist helicopters take to see all the sights here of New York City. We understand that that helicopter was in the air for 16 minutes before crashing into the
16 minutes. And it said 18 in the AP article.
Hudson River. The investigation is ongoing to try to determine what caused this helicopter to crash.
All right. And I can't remember if I did, but I'm just going to put Hudson in here for Hudson River. All right. Okay, so I'm going to open up these slides here and show you. Oh, let's listen to Governor Eric Adams.
Here's what we know at this time. At approximately 3:17 this afternoon, we began receiving multiple calls for a helicopter that crashed in the water. These calls generated the response of many agencies, as Deputy Mayor Daughtry stated, including FDNY, NYPD, the Port Authority, and our Jersey partners.
Okay, hopefully you can hear, is it Governor or Mayor Adams? Eric Adams. You know what? He is the 4th. He was born, let's see, he was the 4th of 6 children. It looks like here. Okay, Adams was born in Brownsville, Brooklyn. He was the 4th of 6 children. And check this out. Look how he's born in 1960, like 6. Okay? And there's 6 dead here, right? And look at his birthday, September 1st. You get that 9 and that 1. Okay, the 9 and the 1 pop up a lot with air-related, like the most famous air-related tragedy of all time with New York, right? 9 and think about it, 911, right? Remember that back in 2001? So he's got the 9/1 birthday here. Okay, and he's born in 60 and there's 6 dead here. the executive from that Siemens company, his wife, the pilot, and 3 children. Also, New York City equals 60 like 6. Okay? New York City has the 60 like 6. And Eric Adams, mayor of New York, born in 60. Again, 60 is like 6. He's the 110th mayor of New York City, 110. Remember Osama bin Laden, who took the blame for that event, 9/11 2011. Osama bin Laden equals 110 in gematria. Uh, oops. When you spell it correctly, right there, you see? Osama bin Laden has that 110 right there. And Eric Adams, 110th mayor of New York City. Right? Okay, so back over here. All right, so we got a lot of stuff on the fly here.
Adults and 3 children were on board a Bell 206 helicopter that had left from the downtown skyport. Helicopter. Children were on board a Bell 206 helicopter that had
A
left.
what 6 helicopter?
Were on board a Bell 206 helicopter that had left from the downtown skyport just
The
about.
Bell 206 helicopter. Okay, but let's move forward. If I can
Here's what we know
forward
at this
here.
time. At approximately 3:17 this afternoon.
Really hard to change slides on here when you have a video. So let me okay, so I'll just do it like this. So you see, look at tourist in the ordinal cipher. Look at tourist has 122 like sightseeing. That's cool, right? And these are Spanish tourists. Look at Spanish has 32 like tourists. Just in the language, okay? Now New York, remember Eric Adams, the 110th mayor, and 110 you get the 110, which is kind of like 11, right? And New York, the 11th state, or yeah, the 11th state added to the union. Don't forget Eric Adams, the mayor, is born on the 1st. Okay, not only is New York the 11th state, he's 110th mayor, 110 like 11. New York equals 111 in the language. Helicopter equals 111. And don't forget September 11, the World Trade Center incident with the airplanes. Remember that day in history left 111 days in the year, and who they put responsible, Osama bin Laden. In this code, you get 110, also like 11. But look at helicopter and New York 111, both in the ABC 123 cipher. New York has 39 like NYC, and this helicopter tragedy, 6 dead, on a 39 date numerology. You see that? 4 plus 10 plus 25. So April 10 and the year 25. And don't forget 911, we will never forget. Eric Adams has the 9/1 birthday, September 1st. And that's just that's an 11-day span from his birthday to 9/11, okay? Or if you want to say his birthday this year, it's an 11-day span from his birthday to the anniversary of 9/11. So or you could just put it back in 2001. It was an 11-day span as well. So check that out. And Tourist has 33 like New York, which, that's amazing when that syncs up, right? Because that's true, okay? Tourist and New York, NYC, 39 like New York, uh, with the 39 date numerology on the day of the incident. And again, New York 111 like helicopter. Check that out. And you may find a lot of other 11s connected with New York also, but I'm stating some major ones here. Even this happens on the 10th day of April. So you get a 1 and a 0. You get another 1 in there. And if you cancel out that 0, that breaks down to a 1 one more time, okay? This was Thursday, okay? Crash upside down into the Hudson River, killing the pilot and a family of 5 Spanish tourists in the latest U.S. aviation disaster. Look at New York City 57, Tourist 57, Helicopter 57. So New York City, when you write it out, even connects with Tourists and Helicopter 57. And again, New York 111, Helicopter 111, New York City abbreviated 39. Again, like New York, and all of that. Tourist 33 like New York, right? So it connects again, and there's only 4 base ciphers, okay? So we get that 57 match there. And this is the guy here. Siemens executive Augustin Escobar. I think that's interesting. You get 55 like Sky, and this is a Sky related death with this sightseeing helicopter. Okay, so Sky equals 55 like Augustin Escobar. Something else I discovered as I'm also working on the Masters golf. Where is the Masters located? Look at this, Augusta National Golf Club. You see that? And that's trending right now. I'm actually working on the breakdown. It'll be the next breakdown on this channel. Augusta National Golf Club. And this guy's name is Augustin. So Augustin like Augusta. You see that trending at the same time? We get the Masters, and then we get the death of this guy. His first name is almost identical to Augusta. I mean, this might as well be in August, right? So Augustin Escobar. So that's amazing, right? Notice he's the executive of Siemens, which is kind of seems like a bullshit company if you ask me. Maybe some kind of front. That's just my opinion, but look at Siemens has 42 like NYC. You see that right there? And again, his wife, Merce Cambrubi Montal, a global manager at an energy technology. Let me and at an energy technology company. Let me pull her picture up here. Let's see. Let me copy this. And let's go over here. Let's pull her picture up. If we get a picture, here they are right here. Okay, so RIP to this couple and their 3 children and the pilot. Okay, here she is. I didn't really catch any connections to add to the breakdown with her. Maybe we can catch something on the fly. I didn't really stretch, and I don't like to stretch to show these connections, right? I like to be pretty organic with this, as I do this a lot. So it's like we have to cover a story and then we have to move on, okay? So here they are. They say he's an executive of of Siemens, and hopefully that is how you pronounce it. And again, here's some images that pop up with that company right here. And again, it says an automation company, Siemens AG, German multinational technology conglomerate focused on industrial automation, distributed energy resources, rail transport. So is this some kind of like automotive? Maybe, I don't know. I'm not 100%. Uh, some of these words are going over my head here, but rail transport and health technology. It's like, okay. So you see Siemens 42 there, like NYC, okay? And look at this. Now notice how Siemens has 84 and 105 like Arizona. Now let me show you how this matches here. And also you see Arizona has 42. Now you may say, hey, Arizona, they're not mentioning anything about Arizona. But don't forget Arizona and the Diamondbacks in baseball, they beat the Yankees in the World Series right after 9/11 back in 2001. Okay? So you see how these same numbers play a part here, as Arizona equals 42, like Siemens and NYC. And look at Siemens again, 84 and 105, Arizona and Siemens right there. And don't forget, Arizona's the 48th state. Arizona, airplanes, air-related incidents, airplane crashes. So you get Arizona, it's all in the language, even though it's ARI, not AIR. Okay. And again, the World Series victory over the Yankees, 7-game, one, like, in my opinion, top two, if not the best World Series of all time. I mean, with the 7 games. Okay. And I'm out here in Arizona. That was big. And it looks like we may go around 25 minutes, if not a few minutes over here. But we're connecting heavy here. We're adding stuff as we go. And the guy's name even starts with the A. Augustin A, like Arizona. Okay? So you get these same number connections with this air-related tragedy. And I'm not saying they're like equal tragedies or anything, but don't forget Eric Adams has the 9/1 birthday. Okay. And don't forget also, that's the first day of the 9th month. Chaos equals 19, right? But that was a 7-game World Series, which the Diamondbacks ended up beating the Yankees. Even Arizona has 39. Okay. Like a 39 date numerology with this crash. And NYC equals 39, right? New York 39, Arizona 39, okay? As you see again right there. And Augustin Escobar, look at the ABC. Ooh, look at Augustin equals 91. Check that out. Again, you heard Mayor Eric Adams speaking after this tragedy, and he's got the 9/1 birthday. And 91 is like 911. You see that right there? So his first name even equals 91 in the language, okay? And check it out. This air-related incident, this crash, the sightseeing helicopter, him and his family, Spanish tourists, look, 154 days before the anniversary of 9/11. Okay? And that's going to be the 24th anniversary, okay? Man, time flies, right? But this death, 154 days, and this crash before the 9/11 anniversary, August, and it may be Agustin if I mispronounced it. Agustin Escobar 154 in the language, 154 days before the anniversary of 9/11. You see that? 154, 154. Okay. Now look at this. This is undeniable here. And this crash on the 4th day of the 10th month. So 4/10, or 4 plus 10 is 14, or the 4th month and the 10th day, drop the 0 is 41, right? Dead equals 14 in two ciphers. This crash on a 14 date numerology. 9/11 back in 2001 with the Twin Towers, look, a 14 date numerology. Hudson River 144. They crash into the Hudson River, 144 like 14. 9/11 2001 also had a 41 date numerology. Okay, so that's a lot of 14s. That's a lot of 41s. That's a lot of 1s and 4s right there, okay? And also, back with 9/11, airplanes equals 41. And look, Osama bin Laden equals 241, who was blamed for that tragedy. 241 in the reverse cipher. Z is 1, A is 26. And let me show you airplanes. Remember airplanes, Agustin, RIP to him and his family. The Arizona connection, Arizona like airplanes. Look at airplanes. You see 41 right there. Okay? And look at how airplanes equals 58. And I think we had 58s in this breakdown. Didn't we? Oh, no, we didn't. 57. My bad. Okay, and that's the last slide, okay? That's the last slide with the 14s and the 41s. Let's see. Remember we entered some stuff earlier? Now let's just take a look at those. Statue of Liberty's got the 90, which syncs up with the 9th month, right? And 9/11 and Eric Adams' birthday in September as well. Statue of Liberty equals 90 in reverse reduction. And remember, they were sightseeing the Statue of Liberty, and I guess it's I don't know if it's some kind of just a part of the tour maybe that this helicopter was taking. You heard the lady mention it earlier, and she mentioned George Washington Bridge, and you see George Washington Bridge has that 110. Remember Eric Adams, the 110th mayor, Osama bin Laden 110 in the language. And 110, you get that 11 in there. So Statue of Liberty 90, George Washington Bridge 110. So you get that 9 and that 11 in there, and you see how it's in the same cipher, reverse reduction right there, okay? So, and New York 60 in reduction, Eric Adams, the mayor, born in 1960, 60 like 6 and 6 dead here. So, I mean, a very nice breakdown. Listen to all the information I'm giving you here. Okay? Listen to all the information. We're going to play we'll play that video again, and we'll watch this one more time.
This video shows the moment that a helicopter crashed into the Hudson River
Watch it
with
again.
6 people. This video shows the moment that a helicopter crashed into the Hudson River with 6 people on board. Officials tell us that all 6 people have died. We've learned that they were a family of tourists coming from Spain. Among those 6 people were 2 adults, a pilot, also an adult, and then the rest were children. And we're told by officials that they actually were trying to perform life-saving efforts on a boat in the water.
So do we get any kind of info on why? how witnesses describe the helicopter's plunge into the Hudson.
A helicopter crash in the waters off New York City kills a family from Spain and the pilot. Officials say 3 children and 3 adults all died.
Oh, that's interesting. 3 children and 3 adults. Remember, New York equals 33. Tourists equals 33. So how they put that, we caught that. Okay. A witness there, Bruce Wall, said he saw it falling apart in midair with the tail and main rotor coming off. The main rotor was still spinning without the helicopter as it fell. Danny Horbiak was at her Jersey City home when she heard what sounded like several gunshots in a row almost in the air. She looked out her window and saw the chopper splash in several pieces into the river. The helicopter was spinning uncontrollably with a bunch of smoke coming out before it slammed into the water, said Leslie Camacho, a hostess at a restaurant along the river in Hoboken, New Jersey. Okay, so probably probably wrap it up with that, as we're probably around 30 minutes, but it was kind of necessary here. Okay, something else with this 122 and air related tragedies, we already connected 9/11 very easily here, but look at how tourist equals 122, like sightseeing. Remember, Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash as well. Okay, legend for the Lakers, Kobe Bryant. Now, 122 was a very important date for him in his career. On January 22, 122, his team, he scored 81 points. And for the Lakers, his team against the Raptors on 1/22, and his team totaled 122 points on 1/22. And that's his career high of 81 points. So, and he dies in a helicopter in January of 2020. Okay, so you get a helicopter connection with this number 122 with Kobe Bryant as well with his death. Okay, so you get these numbers with these air related incidents, basically, is my point. So I'm pretty sure we're around 30 minutes, and every minute was needed here. I'm sure I may have lost some people if they're tuning in. I don't even think they let these breakdowns reach the number of people that it shows on the views. Okay, but again, I'm doing this because it's my hobby. I'm putting this out in the universe, and these tragedies come with it. Okay, so that's the breakdown, and I got to keep it moving. R.I.P. to this family of tourists. Okay, including the pilot. So 6 killed, helicopter plunges into the Hudson River, NYC. Shout out to y'all. That's the breakdown. Until next time, peace.